A lot of games have a type of system to explain how proficient your character is at a specific task. Skills. This is definitely true for Fallout, but also most of Bethesda's games. Let's talk about the skill systems. Skills can have a variety of uses depending on the game. There's two main methods that I have noticed: combat and situational. Combat skills being, as the name suggests, skills that can be used in combat, and will be the skills that the player will most likely use the most. Small guns, melee, energy weapons, and even sneak falls into this category. While sneak has plenty of non-combat uses, it is popular to use in combat for the sneak attack bonuses, the silent assassin builds. Situational being skills that a player may use for the purposes of completing a check, repair, science, lockpicking, and the all-powerful speech, basically the skills used when trying to overcome roadblocks. That said, there are times when a combat skill can be situational, such as getting dynamite from Easy Pete. In the older games, from the original to New Vegas, a bit of RNG influenced accuracy in regards to combat. This is certainly more true for Fallout 1 and 2 due to them being isometric turn-based CRPGs. However, 3 and New Vegas utilize weapon spread to display a lack of skill. Lower skilled characters have more weapon spread than higher skilled characters. Such practices dismiss the player's personal skills, either all or only some of it, a debate I covered here, so feel free to watch the video after this one. And while combat skills are the most used ones by the majority of players due to the sheer frequency of combat presented in the games, situational skills have their moments, talking your way out of a problem, gambling at a casino, or even browsing some wares. These are a bit more designated by the game developer, specific moments or specific locations. Situational skills are, well, situational. And there are two ideas at play with these skill checks, either chance-based dice rolling or a binary system of success and failure. Let's look at speech checks. With chance-based, even someone with a literal 1% chance of success could be able to convince someone to give up information. Mind you, this will require a lot of save scumming, but it's possible. This is the method of 1, 2, 3, and 4. New Vegas and Fallout 76's Wastelander update are binary checks. You cannot even attempt to convince someone you're correct without the proper requirements. You could be 1 point off the requirements and still fail. There are differences in opinions about which is better. Some like the RNG factor. A lower skilled character could convince someone in a rare opportunity, while a high skilled character might actually fail. Randomness offers variety and arguably a new experience. But that failure at a high level might be the reason some prefer the binary option. A click here to win button in a way. This is likely preferable to those who might fail a check when they had an 85% chance of success and go, "Nuh-uh, this is bullshit," and reload. And both of these styles get wrapped up in the newer games in regards to lockpicking and hacking terminals. You cannot even attempt to break into them if you don't meet the minimum threshold associated to their difficulty. With higher skills or value, you may be able to force a lock open or have less words to deal with, increasing your chances of hacking. And not only do these skills affect the player, but various NPCs may also be given specific skills and attributes that make up the world. For instance, Ian will have small guns tagged. While this can breathe a bit of personality into the wasteland, it doesn't always reflect some realities. A character may be given unfitting skills or attributes for the sake of player-based balance. That said, the classics were a bit more focused on the mechanics in regards to world design, where skills were somewhat, for the lack of a better word, humanized in some aspects. There were a number of systems that Bethesda has used in their games. First, starting with Fallout and not necessarily Bethesda, there's the Black Isle method of special plus skills that Bethesda has adopted for Fallout 3. Although admittedly, it was pretty simplified. And Obsidian has took this method and inserted a bit more classic styling, but not nearly to the same degree as the originals. The special plus skill system is essentially the tabletop experience in video game form, where there's a list of primary attributes, strength, dexterity, etc., and a list of skills influenced by the primary stats at the start of the game, but can be increased as the game progresses. You can see such systems in some of the Elder Scrolls games like Morrowind or Oblivion. There's the rolled into one method, like Skyrim, Fallout 4, or Fallout 76, where skills or primary attributes are replaced by perks. In Fallout 4, the special system has perks named after skills and take some of their functionality. For instance, lockpicking was replaced by the perk Locksmith. And while on the surface, this isn't too bad. In the older Fallouts, you could be a master lockpicker within a couple of levels. While in 4, you won't be able to pick the hardest lock until level 18 at a pure minimum. In Skyrim, the primary attributes don't exist, at least not anything that isn't health, magic, or stamina. But at each level up, you choose a new perk associated with a skill. Now, in Fallout, increasing skills via perks or traditional number maxing is pretty much the same. You can do it once you level up. It's entirely level focus. Kill things, complete quests, whatever your method, you'll get enough experience to level up. And then you can choose what skills you want to increase. You could increase your hacking abilities to the maximum potential without once hacking a single terminal. The Elder Scrolls have a learn by doing method. If you want to increase one-on weaponry, you whip out a dagger or short sword and stab things until you get good. In Morrowind, that's basically how you start reliably actually hitting something. Some people prefer the idea of having to actually use skills that they want to get decent at. Others too prefer the flexibility offered in the Fallout style. Starfield looks like it's trying to blend the Fallout 4 style of perk-based skill with the basic idea of Elder Scrolls' learn by doing system. Here you increase ranks of your skills by completing challenges. Essentially, it's New Vegas' challenge perk system, but for a whole skill set. Over the years, skills have been reformatted a few times. Fallout 4 and Skyrim have really pushed for simplification, while the older games remain pretty, I don't want to say complex, but traditional. While there's likely a lot of developmental benefits for the simplified route, there's many who may find such annoying and prefer the older methods. Moreover, Bethesda will have 3 main styles on how you increase your skills. The Fallout style of level of skill selection, Elder Scrolls style of learning by doing, and Starfield style of challenge ranking. They each have their pros and cons. But what do you prefer? Would you like Fallout to stick to its own style, or do you prefer the Elder Scrolls or Starfield's method? And would you prefer a traditional handle, or do you prefer the perk styling?